Within the last 24 hours, we have been able to recover close to 4 billion naira public funds that left government coffers into private custody.
Hello viewers and welcome to Transparency Files, ICPC's weekly television program where we shed light on corruption, discuss its impact on our society and highlight efforts to combat it. I am your host Hawasani Garba and I'm glad you could join us today. As Nigeria celebrates her 64th independence anniversary this year, it's a time for reflection on how far we have come as a nation. While we have faced numerous challenges, corruption being a significant one, there is still hope for a brighter and more prosperous Nigeria. On today's program, we will be exploring how Nigerians can actively contribute to strengthening democracy and making a difference in the fight against corruption. We will also take a closer look at ICPC's ongoing efforts and examine the critical role citizen participation plays in tackling this widespread issue. Also, on this edition, we shall bring you the opportunity cost of corruption, as well as reports from our state offices. But before we delve into these discussions, let's turn to Joy Aja, who will be sharing some insightful anti-corruption stories with us. Over to you, Joy.
Thank you, Hawa. Hello, viewers. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Joy Aja. ICPC successfully recovered nearly 4 billion naira in public funds within 24 hours from September 18 to 19, 2024. This significant recovery, which involved funds illegally diverted into private accounts, was announced by ICPC Chairman Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN during a National Anti-Corruption Coalition Members Interactive Forum held in Abuja recently.
In today's discourse, I want to underscore the potential of technology-driven solution to bolster transparency, accountability, and good governance, because technology can do wonders. Because it is not human being, it can be able to detect and help us to tackle the challenge if you can use it properly and effectively. I can tell you that within the last 24 hours, we have been able to recover close to 4 billion naira public funds that left government coffers into private custody. And you wonder that this money left into government coffers, while those that are supposed to be the gatekeepers, they stood by and allowed the money to go into wrong hands. And those who returned the money, we told them, look, bring back that money. It doesn't belong to you. You either bring it quickly, or we'll take the necessary step. And we are making efforts to recover more and more and more.
In a separate presentation, Mr. Jimoh Sulaiman, Deputy Director of the Constituency and Executive Projects Tracking Initiative of ICPC, urged NACC members to actively monitor and track constituency and government projects in their communities to prevent corruption. NACC, a coalition of CSOs, acts as an outreach arm of the ICPC, promoting anti-corruption education, public awareness, and preventive measures aimed at curbing corruption across Nigeria. ICPC is proud to announce Nigeria's re-election to the Steering Committee of the Global Operational Network of Anti-Corruption Law Enforcement Authorities, GLOBE Network. This significant accomplishment, achieved at the 5th plenary meeting in Beijing, China, solidifies Nigeria's position as a key player in the global fight against corruption highlighting the nation's dedication to combating corruption, both domestically and internationally. Led by ICPC Chairman Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SN, and in collaboration with other key Nigerian anti-corruption agencies, Nigeria's delegation passionately championed the nation's continued leadership within the Globe Network. Nigeria's continued presence on the steering committee will undoubtedly enhance its influence and collaboration with international partners, enabling even more effective strategies to combat corruption and promote good governance. As Nigeria embarks on this new term, the ICPC remains steadfast in its resolve to strengthen its efforts, forge robust partnerships, and employ innovative approaches to eradicate corruption. We are committed to ensuring a transparent and accountable governance system that benefits all Nigerians. That will be all on this segment. Transparency Files continues with Hawa. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. You are watching Transparency Files. For any nation to experience lasting change, it must be driven by its citizens. The National Democratic Institute, a US-based civil society organization, emphasizes that citizen participation is a vital driver of democratic and socio-economic transformation. It's also a powerful tool for empowering individuals and communities to hold their leaders accountable. When it comes to combating corruption, there are numerous ways citizens can get involved. Reporting instances of corruption to ICPC and other relevant authorities is one. Supporting sensitization campaigns that promote a culture of integrity and zero tolerance for corruption is another. Each action, no matter how small, contributes to building a society where honesty and transparency are the norms.
Ridding Nigeria of corruption starts from the citizens, because you may agree with me that the leadership where we always point our fingers to as corrupt, they are a reflection of the society and they come from the citizens. So if the citizenry are set up in a wrong way and in a form where they are going to be corrupt, there is no need. What we are going to get at the end of the day is still corrupt leaders. So citizens are very crucial, and what we do about ourselves, they are very key to ensuring that we will not continue on this path that we always blame ourselves for corruption. So citizens must stand up and do the right thing, especially when you see something wrong, you must start saying that this is very wrong.
One thing I know is through ICPC we can get some things right. I know that there is a bill, a whistleblower policy bill, that I want to use the opportunity, this medium, to plead with National Assembly, please to pass that bill. That bill is going to help for citizens to come out and speak and name, and not only naming the corrupt politicians, public office holders, but also for the citizen to also understand like the importance of doing the right thing.
Multiple ways. As parents, we have to talk to our children. As institutions, we have to talk to our people. As religious or traditional rulers, we have to engage with them. We have to talk to our people. Then also, I'm praying, looking forward to the Whistleblower Act. Let's see how we can support the government to strengthen that act so that people can see something and say something. That way, we mitigate, reduce corruption.
Oga, welcome.
Now 1,000 per litre with the sell.
But just how is it 617 now?
You won't buy, Abi, you know won't buy.
What is going on here? Please, we are selling at 900 per litre. Sure, but your tender here says 1,000 naira.
What? Is this what you are doing? To make gain off my own station.
Oga, no vex so. But Oga, you two dey chop. Man must work, shey you two know. Even those big government officials too, they steal in billions. Our own are just for family support.
Chai! This country don't spoil finish. What do you both stand to benefit by overcharging motorists?
It's okay, sir. Make una just pay 800 last. I know they go down past that one.
It doesn't matter how much you extort or whether you are in government or not. Do the right thing, even when no one is watching you. That is integrity.
Thank you very much, Baba.
This message is brought to you by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission.
ICPC, as Nigeria's foremost anti-corruption agency, has been working tirelessly to eradicate corruption through various initiatives, including preventive measures, enforcement, and education. Yet, we understand that reducing citizen apathy is essential. That's why ICPC, in partnership with other organizations, is continuously finding innovative ways to empower Nigerians to play an active role in the anti-corruption movement. Let's take a closer look at some of these efforts. Watch this.
We have been doing a lot of what I call public sensitization and education. ICPC have been conducting awareness campaign, workshop, public enlightenment program to educate citizens on the dangers and the evil of corruption in society and their role on how to do it. This initiative is just aimed to foster a culture of transparency and accountability and encourage citizen participation. We also engage in community engagement. We organize workshops with local community, civil society groups, traditional rulers, from the grassroots level to the state level to the national. There was a time we were having what we call a NAS conference, and we were visiting all the local government areas of the state. So, and we also have various anti-corruption clubs and initiatives that have been established to ensure that our youth are carried along in some of the things that we are doing, so that they will not be left behind. We need their engagement. We cannot win the war against corruption without the active participations of the youth. And on a daily basis, we are reviewing our strategies and we are coming up with a lot of things. We engage in advocacy activities. In fact, one of the principal pillars of the present management or the chairman is advocacy. He has been engaging a lot of key stakeholders, telling them, joining hands together. All the commissioners of justice and attorney generals of the Federation, they were here in Abuja at the invitations of our chairman to engage them how we can ensure that we ensure that the judiciary is doing their bit. It is very important for us as an institution of government to ensure that we carry as many people as possible along in the campaign, and that is what we have been doing. Just yesterday, we launched a critical digital media to carry on to ensure that our youth are engaged. So we have just launched our podcast that we're going to be engaging our youth. We want them to be part of the effort to ensure that we reduce the menace of corruption in Nigeria. And with that, I want to urge all Nigerians that are still showing a lack of nonchalant attitude or non-committal to the anti-corruption work, that it is important for us to be part and parcel. On a final note, we cannot win the war against corruption in Nigeria without you and our involvement.
Welcome back. Now let's dive into a critical aspect of corruption, its opportunity cost. Corruption doesn't just steal money, it robs the nation of vital resources that could be used for education, healthcare, infrastructure, and so much more. Recently, a federal high court in Abuja dismissed an application to vacate a final forfeiture order that was granted to ICPC about a 96 million naira contract fraud case. The case involved former Surveyor General of the Federation, Ebisinte Awudu, Kumeni Services Limited, and Geolove Nigeria Limited, where ICPC secured the final forfeiture of the funds believed to be proceeds of fraud. Now think about what 96 million naira could do for Nigeria's education sector. It could help build schools, provide textbooks, and improve learning environments for our children. To shed more light on this, Surveyor Baba Jibrin of ICPC will be joining us to explain how this victory impacts the fight against corruption and the potential benefits it brings to the country.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on Transparency Files. Today, we want to look at the opportunity cost for 96 million naira, which ICPC got for feature for in the contract fraud. Looking at the education sector, can you share with us what can 96 million naira do for Nigeria?
The opportunity cost of losing 96 million naira to fraud as it will affect the educational sector will be this way: applying the BEC standard, assuming at 20 million naira per block of classroom, consisting of 2 classrooms per block. At 20 million naira means you would have 4 blocks of classrooms, which means 8 classes on the average. At 20 million, that gives you 80 million naira from the 96 million. Now, breaking it further, you would have had a balance of 16 million. Now, within the 16 million, you have potentially made class furnitures, which is 2-seater desk for students. Looking at, again, the BEC standard of 30 students per classroom. So you'd have had like 15 units of 2-seaters per class, which at each unit of seats at 35,000 naira, that is what they still give, which would have meant about 4.2 million. Added to that, you would still have made class desks for about 10 teachers at 45,000 per teacher, which gives you about 450,000 naira for 10 teachers, averagely in a typical school. So the cost implication of losing 96 million naira to fraud cannot be overemphasized. It means that it denies about 240 pupils who would have benefited genuine, fully furnished classrooms, for learning. Now, losing that sum to corruption, it means it's humongous loss to our educational system. So I will employ on all Nigerians to put hands on deck, having understood the implication, the cost of corruption, denying social amenities for Nigerians. I call on every Nigerian at this moment to try to cooperate and put hands on deck in order to stamp out corruption, because it is a terrible thing to the system.
As we near the close of today's episode, let's take a moment to spotlight the activities happening across ICPC's state offices. Our correspondent, Damilola Oyejegede, will guide us through the latest updates.
The resident anti-corruption commissioner of Rivers State, Mrs. Ekere Usiere, charged members of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority to zealously discharge their duties to entrench a culture of discipline and accountability. The charge was made during the inauguration of the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit of the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority, ONE, Rivers State. Similarly, from Osun State comes a report that Barrister Kalu Ugu of the Legal Department paid an official visit to the Federal College of Education, Iwo, for the institution's third quarterly Anti-Corruption Transparency Unit meeting of 2024. He delivered a thorough presentation on the ICPC Act 2000, offering a detailed overview of the Act's core principles, preventive measures, and enforcement mechanisms. Coming from Kogi State, the resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Mr. Okoro Ulu, has urged members of the National Youth Service Corps to be more resourceful and innovative to accelerate the economic development of Nigeria. The call was made during the swearing-in of new corps members during their CDS meeting at Muslim Community School in Lokoja, Kogi State. In the same vein, the resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner of Katsina State, Mr. Mahdi Muhammad Lawal, represented by Sani Tukur Taraoni, sensitized the students of Zainab Memorial Academy, Katsina, and urged the students to shun corruption, examination malpractice, and further encourage them to imbibe the core values and positive national transformation. And finally, ICPC's Galadima Moses sensitized the staff of the Niger State Agroclimatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes Project on the responsibilities of public sector employees in ensuring transparency and integrity in the course of discharging their duties.
Remember, for the anti-corruption crusade to succeed in Nigeria, it requires the active participation of everyone. Whether you witness corruption in your workplace, community, or public office, do not hesitate to report it to ICPC headquarters or the nearest ICPC state office. Even from the comfort of your home, you can file petitions through the Commission's social media platforms or toll-free numbers displayed on your screen. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to Transparency Files. Don't forget to join us every Friday at 6:30 p.m. on NTA Network and NTA International for more updates on the fight against corruption and what you can do to help. Together, we can build a more transparent and accountable Nigeria. Join us next week for another insightful edition. Till then, I am Hawasani Garba saying bye for now.